The Rolling Stones, 1962-1964. The Rolling Stones are an English rock band formed in London in 1962. Active for over 6 decades, they are one of the most popular and enduring bands of the rock era. In the early 1960s, the band pioneered the gritty, rhythmically driven sound that came to define hard rock. Their first stable lineup consisted of vocalist Mick Jagger, guitarist Keith Richards, multi-instrumentalist Brian Jones, bassist Bill Wyman, and drummer Charlie Watts. Rooted in blues and early rock and roll, the Rolling Stones started out playing covers and were at the forefront of the British invasion in 1964. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were school friends in the 1950s in Dartford on the eastern edge of Greater London. When Mick's family moved to a different neighbourhood in 1954, they went to different schools and saw less of each other. They separately developed a love of rock and roll in their teenage years. Mick even had formed a band with his friend Dick Taylor doing Saturday shows. One day in October in 1961, they ran into each other at Dartford railway station. Mick was carrying Rockin' at the Hops by Chuck Berry and The Best of Muddy Waters, and Keith his guitar. On the train, they talked about rock and blues. Keith learned that Mick had ordered 2 albums directly from Chicago's Chess Records as they were unavailable in England. Excited by their talk and wanting to hear the LPs, Richards invited Jagger over for tea that evening. Following the listening session, Mick invited Keith to join his band, which played songs by Eddie Cochran, Buddy Holly, and Chuck Berry. A musical partnership began shortly afterwards. Richards and Taylor often met Jagger at his house. In March 1962, they read about Ealing Jazz Club in the newspaper, Jazz News, which mentioned Alexis Korner's Rhythm and Blues Band. They sent a tape of their best recordings to Alexis Korner, who was impressed. In April, they visited the Ealing Jazz Club, where they met the members of Blues Incorporated, who included guitarist Brian Jones, keyboardist Ian Stewart, and drummer Charlie Watts. Mick and Keith started jamming with the group. Later on, Jagger and Richards, Taylor, Jones and Stewart formed a new group named for one of the songs that Jagger was carrying at the train station. With Muddy Waters' Rolling Stone for inspiration, the new group became the Rolling Stones. The band played their first show, billed as the Rolling Stones, on the 12th of July 1962 at the Marquee Club in London. After that, Taylor left the band to resume his studies at Sidcup Art College, where he formed the Pretty Things in September 1963. Bill Wyman auditioned and hired for the role of bass guitarist at a pub in Chelsea in December 1962. The classic lineup of the Rolling Stones with Charlie Watts on drums played for the first time in public on the 12th of January 1963 at the Ealing Jazz Club, and in February, Watts became the Stones' permanent drummer. Shortly afterwards, the band began their first tour of the UK, performing Chicago blues, including songs by Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley, and secured a Sunday afternoon residency at the Crawdaddy Club in Richmond in London.